My brother was ministering there, and I got back from Israel with a whole lot of people. We were about 100 of them. And I told my wife to take the other ones back to Britain. So there were Britain and Africa, and especially Zimbabwe. So we had 200 people that we went with to Israel. In those days, we were doing twice every year, 2 times per year. And guess what happened? I get here to the airport there. Somebody just heft the prophetic. The manager who was the manager for the airport of Zimbabwe. Thank God he was fired. But anyway, that's another story. Now hear this. And he was there and he stood. He's the one to come to the stage. And as I approached, he took my passport and he put 2 lines to say cancelled. You can't enter Zimbabwe. My own country. And they put me in a holding room, their detention center, at the airport. Documented. And that cancellation, you can't appeal it. They said it was coming straight from the president. I knew it was a lie. So I sat in that room, wondering what to do. But my wife had already reached Britain, and she was now ministering on stage. So I texted her that I'm being deported. She said, where? How can you be deported from your country? I said, I'm being deported from Zimbabwe for some reason. I've got a presidential ban. What is happening? We don't know what's happening. And the church was growing by leaps and bounds. It was an astronomical level of growth. Remember, we started as what? 5 to 22. Then 22, we moved to the State Lottery Hall. From the State Lottery Hall, we went to about 500 within 2 weeks. And within those 2 weeks, we booked at the cities, HICC, 4,500 seater. The day we moved it there, from 500, we filled it to capacity with an overflow. Now, we're talking about 4 weeks from 5 members to 4,500. The growth, then overflow. And we're in there, somebody said cancelled. So I said to my wife, we cannot disturb the growth of our ministry. Leave UK now. Get a flight, since I'm being deported. And guess where I was being deported to? Israel. Now, he is at the church, right? I'm supposed to be ministering. And the people are waiting for me to minister. So I called Prophet Makanu and said, my brother, please stand up for me there. I've been deported. He said, no. It's not going to happen. You will not be deported. I said, I'm in a holding area. I said, no. I will go to your church and sit down until you arrive. I called my wife. I said, I'm here. You need to leave. She says, okay, let me just close it. They close the service quickly. She gets into the car of the main minister who was, the chaplain for that branch. And as they left, motorway, middle of the road, she drifts off to sleep. Between sleep and awaking, a man stood there and said, leave the car now. Tell them to stop the car and leave. If they argue, just leave. So she comes up and said, please, leave. Park the car. I need to leave. She said, but we are in the motorway. We need to find a hard shoulder. What is called a hard shoulder is just the side. The road is going there. You have got this space where you can park. Now, or you can drive in for emergency. The pastor explained that this is a new car. It's a new vehicle that they just got. No problem whatsoever. It would have indicated on the panels if something was wrong. She said, I don't care about the panels. What I received here said this car should be parked. So by force, they just parked it on the side. Prophetess has spoken. I'm under prophetess, so I just have to park. Parked. Him and his wife are in there. My wife runs to the, there was this gradient, and she stood there. And they also followed. They just came, left the car, and followed. The moment they came out of the car and stood with prophetess, it blew up. The whole car blew up to the point where it went into smithereens. And the people that came to collect the wreckage said, how? How did you know? So while I'm locked in there is somebody in the realm of the spirit who is orchestrating my deportation from this country that belongs to me, belongs to you. And you become illegal in your own country. I'm here to submit that before they refuse a visa to China, there is an immigration officer in the spirit who said no. And if you don't deal with that spiritual immigration officer who is devising evil agendas against your life, you will think people hate you when they don't.